They're telling you their side, but you just want the facts. And that's why you come to me. I give you the statistics without spin. Out of 116 million working age Nigerians, 35.5 million are employed full-time. That's 30%. I give you the context. I give you the history. I fight fake news with facts.
Kayode. No, Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in.
500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000.
Over 1 million Lagosians. They know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, on all you do, going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. Happy Islamic New Year to all Muslims who are tuning in. May this year bring you more joy and blessings than any year before it. Second hard fact of the day, INEC will hire 1 million ad hoc staff to conduct next year's general elections. These are the people who will serve as polling unit officers, collation center officers, logistics personnel, all that sort of thing. And you know, a big part of rigging relies on these people. That's why every serious political party will be scrutinizing INEC in each state to make sure that their people end up on the ad hoc staff lists. And that's why you should be scrutinizing INEC as well. Every citizen should be watching INEC in their state to make sure that the people they end up hiring are not strong party people of any political party. That's the only way that you can make sure that the ad hoc staff will not work against you, the citizen. There's 1 million ad hoc staff, but I have 1 million Lagosians who cannot be wrong. Thank you for listening to Hard Facts. I have a great show for you. Let's start with the big weekend. We'll talk about the police setting up a committee to trace terror funding. Why did it take so long? Then let's talk about the National Assembly wanting to create 63 more federal universities, polytechnics, and colleges, while the existing ones are on strike. Then let's talk about resident doctors threatening to go on strike. Then talk about a man allegedly killing his brother's wife over a land dispute. And then let's talk about the voter registration incident at St. Bridget's Catholic Church. On Madam Landlord, let's talk about the new Ogun State law to demolish any house in which a convicted fraudster was found. We'll have that conversation from 4 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, we'll talk about the security situation across the country. My guest will be Dennis Amakri, former assistant head of the Secret Service here in Nigeria. As usual, there'll be news updates at the top of every hour for you. We've got a big bulletin coming away at 6 p.m. After that, the newsroom will take over from 6:15. But let's get started with the big weekend. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, Lagos. These are your hard facts.
The big weekend.
Why have the police been slow to trace terror funding? Should the National Assembly be creating more federal universities while they are all on strike? Can the federal government keep its promises to resident doctors? Why do family land disputes get violent? And what happened at St. Bridget's Catholic Church? It was a big weekend. Lagos, let's talk. The police force has set up a committee to improve how the government traces and disrupts the terrorism financing. The IGP inaugurated the 21-person team on Friday. What we know so far is that the committee chairperson is Adegbite Olalulu. The committee is supposed to analyze all the data that the National Financial Intelligence Unit collects. The National Financial Intelligence Unit is the office that collects all data on all bank transactions in the country so that they can spot money laundering and other financial crimes. So this committee is supposed to analyze that data from the NFIU. Now, this police committee is supposed to examine all of that data, because that data is supposed to show how money moves to terrorists and from terrorists. Before now, different agencies were supposed to be using this data, this NFIU data, to trace and arrest people who were funding terrorists. So part of the committee's job is to assess how well the government has been using this data before now. Another thing that this committee is supposed to do is create a standard procedure for sharing financial information. So think about it like this. You have so many agencies working together to stop the terrorists, right? On the financial side, you have the CBN, the NFIU, the EFCC. On the intelligence side, you have the SSS. On the direct action side, you have the police, military, and civil defense. On the legal side, you have the various prosecutors. All of them need financial information about the terrorists. All of them are also collecting financial information directly. The problem is they're not sharing that information effectively with each other. Partly because nobody clearly knows who has the right to know what and at what point. Because there needs to be a standard operating procedure for sharing that information across agencies. And now this police committee wants to create this SOP. But the question is, why is this only happening now? Why wasn't this SOP put in place years ago to help our agencies coordinate their financial intel better? I mean, should it not have been obvious that information sharing was not going well? Sha, better late than never, Abi. Do you agree that this is a step in the right direction, Lagos? We've seen that, the government, seems to want to do this. And we have seen what the government can do when the right agency has the right financial information. For example, during NSAS, we saw Central Bank go after the accounts of citizens who were supporting the protesters, right? So this new committee, will it improve government's ability to go after actual criminals and terrorists in the same way? Can the police own this piece of work effectively, do you think? 014657190. That's for women. Men, call us on 0700 993 993 993. 0700 993 993 993. We've got WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp is 080 959 75805. We've got Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. We've got Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. And we are streaming on Facebook, by the way, and YouTube as well. YouTube is Nigeria Info FM. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is the big weekend on Hard Facts. Let's talk. Hello. Thanks for calling us. Hello. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
My name is Justice from Surulere.
Hi, Justice. Welcome.
Yeah, the problem with Nigeria is implementation. I mean, over the years we've had so many committees.
Okay.
So many. We are not in short of laws.
Committees.
I mean, there are laws everywhere. We have laws in Nigeria, but the problem is implementation. This thing will come to nothing at the end of the day because UAE handed over some suspected sponsors of Boko Haram. Where are they now?
Right.
Where are they?
Right.
So it's at the end of the day, it's just hop and fall. They are just doing it to make it look like as if they are doing something. It's not going to lead to anywhere. They shouldn't deceive us. And it's just like these senators that want to set up 63 universities. They are just doing it. All this is just to show off. Just to make it look like they are doing something. You have not paid. You have not paid. What is it called? You have not paid this. You have not met the demands of ASU, and you are setting up 63 universities. Who are you deceiving? I mean, come on. This is not. To me, they are just making a fool of themselves.
All right. Thanks for calling. 99.3. Hello.
Hello?
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
Great Man is my name.
Great man, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. I just want to chip in this that because the police, I understand they are trying to make sure that people work together, some security forces in the country work together. So I'm just praying and asking that God will help us, because sometimes you have an issue, you go to report to the police, and most of the time, even the enemies you went to go and report to will, be told that this is the person that came to report you. So we just pray and hope that at the end of the day, that it will not be that some maybe vigilantes get information about hideout of certain, individuals, only to discover that they have passed the information to a wrong source. So we just pray and hope that God will help us so that it will not turn, the other way around.
All right. Thank you very much for calling, great man. If you just tuned in, the police force has set up a committee to improve how the government traces and disrupts the terrorism financing. IGP inaugurated the 21-person team on Friday. The committee chairperson is Adegbite Olalulu. The committee is supposed to analyze all the data from the National Financial Intelligence Unit. I told you that this unit collects all data on all bank transactions in the country. That's how they know who is laundering money and who is committing financial crimes. So this committee is supposed to examine all of that data, because that data is supposed to show how money moves from terrorists and to terrorists. Different agencies were supposed to be doing this before now, using the NFIU to trace and arrest people who are funding terrorists. So part of the committee's job now is to assess how well the government has been using that data before now. Another thing the committee is supposed to do is create an SOP, standard operating procedure, for sharing financial information, right? Because like I mentioned before we started taking calls, you have so many agencies working together to stop terrorists. On the financial side, you have CBN, EFCC, NFIU. On intelligence side, you have SSS. On direct action side, you have police, you have military, you have civil defense. On legal side, you have all the prosecutors, right? And all of them need financial information about the terrorists. All of them are also collecting financial information directly. The problem is they're not sharing that information effectively with each other, partly because nobody really knows, I'm supposed to give you this information or I'm not supposed to give you this information. At what point am I supposed to share this information with you? So this SOP that the committee is hoping to create will help to determine what the standard procedure should be for sharing that information across agencies. My own question be say, why is this happening now? Why did they wait so long to do this? Why wasn't this put in place years ago? Do you agree that this is a step in the right direction? We do know that the government is capable. Look at what they did with the people who were supporting NSAS. They froze all their accounts overnight. These people could not conduct their businesses. They couldn't leave the country. Froze their accounts like this. So we know they're capable of it. We know that, they can do things with the right agencies and when those agencies have the right information. Will this new committee improve government's ability to go after actual criminals and terrorists in the same way they went after NSAS protesters? Can the police own this piece of work effectively? 0700-993-993 01465-7190. We've got Dominic on the line. Hi, Dominic.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Well done, Auntie Sandra.
Welcome to the show.
My name is Dominic.
Hi, Dominic.
You see, I can bet anything. I can bet my life that nothing is going to come out of it at all. It's a mere show. In fact, this government have nothing to offer. They are fair, woefully. It is time for Nigerians to rise and get ready to vote obedience into power. Thank you. I rest my case. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for calling us. We've got comments on WhatsApp that we'll take a look at in a bit. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
Good to have you on the show, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Sandra. Good afternoon. I'm so lucky today. I just died once on my co-host.
It's going to be a good month, huh?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Sandra, well done for a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, concerning the issue, I don't think all these things or the committee that they set up that to look into this issue of the people that are sponsoring terrorism and all that, I think it's just a mere show. They cannot do anything. If the government are willing to do the right thing, yes, they can do it. Because we saw how they did to the sponsors of NSAS protesters. That's to tell you that the government are capable. So now, why are they not using that same method in which they use to track down the people that are sponsoring NSAS for the betterment of Nigeria? Why are they not using that same method to track the people that are sponsoring terrorism in the country?
But that's what they want to do now with this committee that they've set up now.
It's just like they are not going to do anything. There is nothing good that will come out of this.
All right, thank you very much for calling. There are bills on the National Assembly floor to create 63 new federal tertiary schools. 63, Lagos. Bear in mind that right now we already have 49 federal universities and 40 federal polytechnics. So 89 institutions total. I've not counted the colleges of health and the colleges of education. But right now, those universities are on strike. All the other tertiary institutions are underfunded. So a lot of Nigerians are asking, okay, can the federal government afford more schools? Does it make sense to create more universities and polytechnics and colleges and add their operations to the federal budget when even the ones we currently have, we cannot fund? But I guess an equally important question is, why does the National Assembly keep adding new schools? When you talk to lawmakers, they say, oh, it's dividends of democracy. Everybody wants to bring a school to their constituents. Your people will praise you for citing a school in your community. But is it the best way to handle education? ASU says no. ASU says they are already dealing with too many universities. There are already too many universities. Other stakeholders are saying that the problem is lawmakers should not be making these decisions. It should be education bureaucrats who should sit down, assess not just the demand for more schools, but also the resources available. Because the truth is, Nigeria needs more educated people, so we need more schools. The question is government in a position to build and run those schools? I think next week we're going to do a big hard fact about tertiary education. But right now, I just want to hear what you think about this bill or these bills to create 63 more tertiary institutions at a time when ASU is on strike. Men, call me on 0700-993-993. That's for women. Men, call me on 0700. No, actually, men 0700-993-993. Women 01465-7190. We've touched two stories. We've got a lot more to take a look at before the time runs off. Let me take a few calls from women. Hello, thanks for calling us.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
Yes, they say they want more universities. Okay, they want more universities. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
The senators that want more universities, are their children in any of these federal universities that we have? They want people to praise them. They want people to praise them. Oh, their constituents and all of that. They want them to praise them. But forgetting the fact that their children, we don't even have any, I don't think any local government child even have his or his daughter in any Nigerian university, talk less of a senator. They all have their children abroad. So why creating more problems? You cannot even do anything good for the ones you already are. At the moment we're talking now, they are on strike.
Right.
And they've been on strike. There's no year. At my own time, they were on strike 6 months.
Right.
There's no year.
Right.
ASU must be on strike.
Right.
So what he's saying, this is greed. This is just, okay, let me be doing. They are not having that. If they have their children in these schools, all those things won't happen. So let's just tell ourselves the truth. These people are just doing their own thing. The main thing they should do, they don't want to do. They don't care.
Okay.
In fact, they should create 1,000 or 1 million more.
Thank you very much for calling. We've got Robert on the line. Robert, you're going to have to give us a call back because we're about to take a break, which means we don't have to time to take your call. Tunde Max says, Sandra, amen and thanks for the prayers. Happy Hijra, he says. Thank you so much, Tunde Max from Badagry. Daniel from Houston says, the government can't do anything concerning terrorism. I'm in the military. I know what I see. That government... Okay, we have a really strong allegation here on WhatsApp that I cannot read because I have no way to confirm one way or the other. But thank you very much, Daniel from Houston, for sending your message in. I'll take another message very quickly if it's a short one. Akeem from Ikbaja says, they will use this to intimidate innocent people. If you send money to your child in school, they will arrest you. I don't think that's gonna happen. Come on now. Kayode from Ikoton says, quite unfortunate we don't have formidable institutions to tackle terrorists and terrorism, while the agencies for security purposes are duplicated for each other. Let's take a break. When we come back, we've got so many stories that broke over the weekend.
You don't start this your waka waka, abi?
Good evening, Uncle.
Pa, don't call me that. Huh? Which kind leg you want carry come so?
No vex. No be anyhow waka waka. Na the night show I dey go.
So me no reach to follow you go this night show? Well, wait oh, which kind show be that?
Na the night show. It dey happen for Wazobia TV and Wazobia Max TV with Nedu and Petit every Wednesday by 8 p.m.
I beg you, no carry this grammar, come give me. Today, now me and you go do this waka.
The Night Show, showing Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on Wazobia TV and Wazobia Max TV, UHF 57 Lagos, DSTV channel 259, GoTV 98, Star Times 195, and Free TV 744. Sponsored by Number
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Let's talk next about resident doctors saying that they want to go on strike. Oh yes, we're going from underfunded universities to underpaid doctors. They're warning the federal government that they will go on strike again because government hasn't honored their agreement. Because remember last year, the Association of Resident Doctors went on strike because they have not gotten their COVID hazard pay. They've not gotten their minimum wage adjustment. They met with the federal government in December. Federal government agreed to pay up. That's how they ended that strike. But now, resident doctors are saying that since December, federal government has not shake body. 7 months. So now they've given government 2-week ultimatum to pay up. Speaking of 2 weeks, the 2 weeks that the Education Ministry said they will use to wrap up the ASU strike ends this week. I wonder how that's going. It really seems that the federal government may be unable to pay the resident doctors. I mean, we're all seeing the debt servicing versus revenue situation. There's a cash crunch at the federal level. The question now is the federal government taking the right steps to manage the expectations of the resident doctors and also to keep their goodwill? Or has the government simply ignored the situation after making heavy promises in December? By the way, even at state level, there's a problem. NARD in Abia State is accusing Governor Ikpeazu of owing them 26 months' salary. 26 months, okay, Ikpeazu owing doctors in Abia State. We've been talking about an exodus of doctors, a brain drain, and resident doctors are one of the big groups leaving the country in their numbers. Maybe we can see why. 26 months, my guy. Reason now, say they work for 26 months and never pay you salary, and yet they show up every day, and you are understaffed, as well as underpaid. Do you think the government can keep its promises to resident doctors? 0700-993-993. 01465-7190. Yes, you can still talk to me about the police setting up a committee to trace terror funding. And you can also talk to me about the National Assembly wanting to create 63 more federal universities, polytechnics, and colleges, while the existing ones are shut down. 99.3, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
Evangelist Sayo online.
Welcome.
Please, I support that they should create more university because so many of our children, they don't have school to go. This government will not continue to be a center. So when other government come, they will take over and repair. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Evangelist, for calling. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. 99.3, hello. All right. Looks like we're having some network dropping something. 99.3.
Hello, Sandra.
Thanks for calling.
This is Joy.
Hi, Joy. I love your voice today. What's happening?
I know the test of I'm resting.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. See, Sandra, I don't know. To me, just like you asked, is it not a little bit too late for them to bring SOP right now? If they are really, how will I put it? If they're actually really serious and you want to fight terrorism, or even if you have a business, you're supposed to have an SOP, whereby you have different units. All of you need to work in synergy. Where there's no SOP, everybody will be working, so scatteredly in order to please the CEO. And at the end of the day, it is either the customer that will suffer or whatever they are fighting for will actually suffer. So this is the reason why we're actually not even getting results. Because each unit is fighting, is working differently. Nobody knows, I'm supposed to do this. Okay, this is where my own stops, this is where your own begins, or this what happens, or this what happens. Nobody actually knows. So people are just working. In fact, you see each other fighting each other saying, I'm going to sue you. Why did you have this information and this? You are supposed to have an SOP. Standard operating procedure. That is what you need to have if you have a conglomerate, if you have an establishment, if you actually want something to work. But look at now, they're just setting a committee to have an SOP. Because this government is actually living in the next how many months? And now terrorism have eaten deep into us. So I don't even know how this is actually going to work.
Okay.
For me.
All right, Joy, thank you very much for calling. Joy says, I don't even know how this is going to work for me. All right, let's take another call. 99.3, hello. Hello. All right, sorry about that. Call back if you can. Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
My lady.
What's your name?
Oh, Menkajo.
Welcome. Go ahead.
All security. Good one. Sandra, there's nothing that is ever too late.
Okay.
As long as it's going to save life.
Okay.
That is one.
Okay.
I don't see any reason why we keep complaining. Government takes this step. We say, no, they are failed already. Yes, okay, they are failed. At least whatever action they are taking now, they are going to save life, right?
Abi.
So now for the education sector, Sandra, our population is getting to 300 million.
Right.
We need those schools. We need them. One, to create employment.
Right.
Two, like the lady that called now, some children find it so difficult to get into some of these federal universities.
Right.
Maybe this will be an opportunity for them
to
get into federal university at the right time.
Okay.
And people should not forget that this government has been, for the past 7 years, creating university. Why complain now? Yeah?
Okay.
I beg, bye-bye. Nigeria are problem too much.
All right, thank you very much for calling. The thing is, you can successfully argue that we need the schools, but can government afford the schools? Because you get why the schools wouldn't get now. Don't pack up because I like wanting the equipment, the other one, So yes, you need the schools, but can government afford these new schools that they want to set up? Let me take one more call and then I'll bring you our third story. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Joy calling.
Welcome, Joy.
Why bringing other school? The one you have, you cannot maintain it. When you maintain that one, then you bring other ones. What kind of support is that? Let them not build another school now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for calling, Joy. We saw a shocking, brutal story from Anambra State. A man, George Okoye, is accused of murdering his sister-in-law, Nkiru Okoye, and assaulting his brother, Emenike, over family land. Emenike, the surviving victim, explains what happened by saying, quote, George said right from when our mother, Mrs. Adaoba Okoye, was alive, he claimed to be our landlord. He is not the firstborn, yet he claims the ownership of the entire compound and always fights with all of us. I had not married my wife when this crisis over the possession of property started in my family, end quote. So this dispute has been ongoing for years. And now it's led to death. Emenike is alleging that he was preparing for work, quote, my wife was preparing the children for school and to also travel home for a meeting of Umuada. George and his wife, Uzonna, and their son, Somto Chukwu, and twin daughters invaded my house around 6 a.m. on July 19. They overpowered us, beat us to stupor, and left. Later on that day, when my children had gone to school at around 7 a.m., they returned with some persons carrying dangerous weapons, including axe. They dragged my wife outside the house, hit and killed her with axe and chair. She fell and died. When I resisted their move to drag me outside too, they broke my hand with an axe, dragged me outside, started hitting me with the axe all over my body until I passed on. You can see the cut on my eyes. They left me thinking that I was also dead. But miraculously, I escaped death as some members of our local vigilante group who arrived at the scene drove me to the hospital. End quote. It's a very shocking story. But it's also not shocking. You know what I mean? Because we hear about stories like this all the time. We hear about family land disputes escalating into violence. A few weeks ago on The Glass Ceiling, we talked about a woman whose relatives allegedly murdered her for trying to claim her late father's land. Now, we're not litigating this case, but I want us to talk about this trend. Why do we have so many instances of violence and murder within families? Same mama, same papa, over land. This feels like a step down topic. Maybe we'll make it a step down topic. Step down airs Tuesdays and Wednesdays after the news at 6 o'clock. So don't miss it. It's a new segment on Hard Facts. It's really good. Women call me on 01465-7190. Men call me on 0700-993-993-993. Why do we have so many instances, examples of violence and murder within families over land? And yes, you can talk about our other stories on the Big Three today. So far, we've talked about police setting up a committee to trace terror funding. Then we've talked about the National Assembly wanting to create 63 more federal universities, polytechnics, and colleges. We've also talked about resident doctors threatening to go on strike. And now we've talked about a man who allegedly killed his brother's wife over a land dispute. 99.3, hello.
Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name? What's your name, sir?
This is Chris, your senior advisor.
Welcome, Chris.
Thank you very much. This Okoye story you just mentioned, this is mere wickedness. President Sandra, within that environment, no neighborhood, before they beat that woman up to her death, then vigilante, after, oh my gosh. It's well. Then the one of Abia. The governor, okay, Pazo, for that 20 years, 20 months, he himself never gets salary, right? The House of Assembly members never get salary, right? And those doctors, how did they cope for 20 years, President Sandra?
Not 20 years, or 26 months.
Oh, I keep on mentioning years. 20 months. How did they survive?
That's a good question.
How would they relate with the patient? Then for police setting up to investigate who fund whatever. The ones they give them the list, about 400. And the hearing about the bureau they stage people, they arrested, they find out that they are the sponsors. What is that?
Chris, your line has broken up. Oh, sorry. Call back if you can. 99.3, hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
This is Rita from Bado.
Welcome.
Sandra, concerning this doctors' issue, every year doctors are always going on strike. I don't know what the federal government is doing, because they will treating them, they will come up, okay, fine, we agree with them, go back. Why making the promise when you know you won't do anything? You tell them go back, and in your mind you know that let them go back, we won't pay them their money. They are working for their money, for God's sake. And you are not giving them this money. What is this government for example? I don't understand. And you are planning to set how many schools more. We will go there and teach. Have you paid the lecturers that are on strike now? The students are on, I don't know what they are doing. They are home now, and you want to put more schools. They're not paying doctors. So what is the country doing right now? And I'm really tired. Nothing is working for us.
Bye. Thanks for calling. We've got Imor Dan on Facebook who says the problem we're having is that we don't know what our problem is. The schools we have are not working, yet they want to bring more schools. Where is National Assembly when ASU planned for strike? Nigeria doesn't need more varsities, rather sustainability of the varsities we already have. All right. John Bishop Jem says federal government has come out to say they know those sponsoring terrorists. The government of UAE had named some people, and the federal government kept it a secret. What is the police setting up committee for? Sandra, the proposed creation of more universities is the price we have to pay for having an exponential population growth. The birth rate here is beyond alarming. Funny enough, one of our topics for I Beg to Differ in August is that government should regulate how many children couples can have in their countries. It should be an interesting debate. I Beg to Differ returns on the 8th. So next week, Monday, we'll have the very first playoff match right here on 99.3 at 4 p.m. Don't miss it. And then the second playoff match will be on Tuesday. Then the round of 16 matches will start on the 15th of August 2022. Yes, so back to Richard in Lagos. Richard says, Newton's third law is that action and reaction are equal and opposite. The more we as a people continue to recklessly procreate, the more we force the government's hand to please the people at the other end to the detriment of our national purse. It is what it is. All right, Richard, thank you very much for your message. This one says, I don't enjoy Chris's comments whenever he calls Abeg. It's a shame that we're talking about this committee on radio. How did the committee assist with the tracking of NSAS sponsors? The fact that we are talking about it on radio is a success for them because it doesn't make sense. There is no will to do anything against insecurity. Okay. All right, Keno, thank you very much for your message. Who is Chris? Why don't you enjoy Chris's comments? We've got more messages here. Nigerians can complain. Gosh, nothing government will say that people won't find something to grumble about. Ban Okada, they complain. Catch Yahoo boys, they complain. I'm not a fan of this government though, but people should critically think well about issues and not just grumble about everything they hear. We've got more people sending us messages. Chijioke says, Sandra, please translate the meaning of Ikbazu to your listeners so they will understand why Governor Ikbazu has not paid. Okay, Benazu. I'm not even sure I know the meaning of that. Maybe an Igbo person will call and translate for us. We've got someone who has sent us a message from Abeokuta. Alade Shelu in Abeokuta says, the committee recently set up by the police to effectively address the issue of terrorism ravaging the entire country will end up like other committees that we've had in the past. Political corruption and lack of patriotism in the country won't allow the system or any good plan to work. It's unfortunate that nothing much has been done to fight these devils. All right, thank you for writing us from Abeokuta. Hello, thanks for calling us.
Yeah, Sandra, call back.
Chris, you've called before now. Let's let other people call. Now people like you, they clog up phone lines for new callers. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
Thanks.
Sandra, good afternoon. This is Paul from Egbeda.
Paul, welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sandra is really very funny. You know, sometimes I begin to imagine whether this part of the world is in reality of today, or we are just existing outside the realities of today. How can a state governor own medical doctors 26 months salary? I mean, it's unheard for. I mean, you are endangering the lives of people. How can you own a doctor and expect him to function effectively? And you, the same governor will have the courage to stand in the public and talk about politics? This is unbelievable. I'm telling you, this is absolute wickedness. It's going. It makes me feel so bad. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello?
How are you, sir? What's your name?
I'm fine. First time caller.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. I want to talk about this police committee. Which committee do they want to set? Is it committee that police will show up? Since when they said they put 20 what they put for their salary. Up to today, they don't pay them. If they say they collect bribe, they collect bribe. Which money? They don't pay them that money. They are setting committee for what you call. Maybe money go ginger person to do work. Huh?
Okay.
Help us tell them. Tell them, make they pay that money. If not, I will not know.
Okay.
No one.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Let's speak with Anthony, and then I'll bring you our final story on today's big weekend. Hello, how are you?
Good afternoon, Madam Sandra.
Sandra is just fine. Welcome, Anthony.
Yeah, please, I'm talking on tracking those who sponsor
terrorism.
Terrorism. Now, what of those ones the UAE reviewed about? What is done to them? Nothing is done. Nigerians, we have not heard what is done to them. And now they say they are tracking. Do they track and they leave them go, or do they track and deal with them? That's my question.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, I remember that the presidency at the time said that there was no point for Nigerians to know the identities of those people, that they were still conducting investigations, and that they didn't want the other people who were, in their networks to get wind of their investigation. But yeah, let me bring you our final story. This was another big story that broke over the weekend. This one happened or didn't happen at St. Bridget's Catholic Church, Ijesha. On Friday, INEC officials were at the church to conduct continuous voter registration. Everybody agrees that that particular part of the story happened. But beyond that, nobody agrees on the facts. So let me tell you what all sides are saying, and you will be the judge. First off, we heard from the worshippers. The worshippers claimed that while the CVR was ongoing, some alleged thugs burst into the church, allegedly took the machines away. They claimed that the police eventually showed up, took the INEC staff away for the protection of the INEC staff. Then we now heard from Ben Hundeyi. Ben Hundeyi is the spokesperson for the police. Ben said that the worshippers are spreading fake news. According to Ben, the INEC staff were not supposed to be at the church. He says that the correct location for CVR that day was Imam Thani Street in front of House 9A. Hundeyi claims that a neighborhood volunteer misdirected the INEC staff to come to the church. Hundeyi also said that it was not thugs who took the equipment. Instead, he says that people in the area called the police, and the police came and took the INEC officials to the station and then let them go to the correct location. Some church members are pushing back on the police account. They claim that INEC officials had come to the church the previous Sunday but couldn't finish registering everyone. And so according to these church members, their parish priest coordinated with the INEC staff to come back on Friday. Meanwhile, INEC has said that none of their staff was arrested. That seems to be in response to some critics of the St. Bridget's church. Those critics are claiming that the church colluded with INEC staff to divert the registration to the church grounds. They were claiming that the police came and arrested the staff. But now INEC and the police say that it wasn't an arrest. But INEC also seems to disagree with the police about what happened next. The police is saying that the church was the wrong center to begin with, but INEC seems to be conceding that it was a legitimate center, but that it got too rowdy. Adenike Oriowo, INEC's Lagos PRO, said, quote, "We have moved the registration center in the registration in that center to another polling unit in the area, and our officials have continued with the registration. People should be patient. We shall register as many people as possible. If people continue to disrupt the process, the opportunity to register more people before the deadline will be interrupted." End quote. I want you to notice the language there. INEC said they moved the registration to another polling unit. That seems to mean that the church is a legitimate polling unit and registration center. And INEC is also saying that the registration at the church was, quote, disrupted. That's the word they used there. So if people continue to disrupt the process, I'm trying to get an interview with INEC and the police and the parish priest to get to the bottom of all of this. But this is all that we know so far. So you've heard from the church members, you've heard from INEC, you've heard from the police. How do you see what happened on Friday here in Ijesha, Lagos? 0700993 993 993 01465 7190. Twitter is at Nigeria Info FM. Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. You can also share your thoughts with us via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080 959 75805. Let's talk to you. Hello. Thanks for calling us. Hello, welcome.
Hello, Sandra.
Good to have you on the show, sir.
Honestly, to get you, my name is Joshua. I'm calling you from Alagbado.
Joshua, welcome.
These are our leaders. I don't know, but if they break, they will just give us one topic to be discussing about. Is it not time that we'll get rid of them? We are tired of talking. In fact, we are tired. They should wake up. I want to buy 3 plantains. They are telling me 1,000. Something that have never happened. And they are telling us university. People that finish university, I know 2 people that they didn't even have work. So what's setting up university when the one that we have already is not well funded and they are still owing salaries and they can't just or Nigeria. We are tired.
Don't be tired. Thanks for calling. John in Ogba is on the line. Hi, John.
Yes, I'm cool. Sandra, how are you?
I'm very well. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. I want to tell on the establishment of universities.
Okay. Okay.
It's not the establishment of universities that is our problem, though it is necessary, but they should prioritize the idea of improving on the quality of universities we have now. And so that the establishment of university should be secondary. Where would they get the money from? That's number one. You see, let me shock you. My friend that lent some years ago this road side mechanic when we were going to school, travel to London. Before they arrive at London, he made £400 from his handwork. Why we that we say we are well read, we learn, we do whatever we are little, we are unable, we depend on many jobs before I return. So, hello?
I'm here, I'm listening.
So they should lay more emphasis on tertiary institutions, polytechnics, and equip those ones that are into practical training, and so that they can come out and be sound. Okay. And that is it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, John from Ogba, for sharing your thoughts on the show. We'll take a break. When we come back from this break, I'll take messages from social media, and then we'll call it a wrap on the big weekend. But we'll go to Ogun State for Madam Landlord today. In Ogun State, the government there has a new law to demolish any house in which a convicted cultist was found. What do you think about that? From 4 o'clock, we'll have that conversation. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
The Peter Rufai Summer Clinic is back. Parents, guardians, or institutions, get your child or pupils engaged this summer with their preferred summer event, such as football, basketball, taekwondo, and lots more. Allow us to do the work in helping them realize the potentials in sports. Register and learn about leadership skills. Enjoy the drills and thrills with professional, fun-based trainings and games. Join and be trained by true legends of the game, such as Peter Rufai, Fatai Amao, and experienced coaches. 2022 Summer Clinic is about to be lit. Peter Rufai Summer Clinic starts on the 28th of July through the 13th of August 2022, and it's all happening at Omole Phase 2, Isheri, Lagos. Registration is open to both boys and girls between the ages of 3 to 17. For more information, participation, and sponsorship, call 0810-058-0744 or 0905-221-3920 or send an email to starofficials@gmail.com. Supported by Cool FM, Nigeria Info FM, Wazobi FM. Brought to you by Starf Sports Development Limited. Security is guaranteed, so don't worry. PRM BSSA. It takes a champion to make champions. See you there. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. We've got 4 minutes before we have to pivot to Madam Landlord. So here's a message from Godwin Praise in Yaba, who says, bringing in new universities while they can't manage the ones we have, Auntie Sandra, is a no-no for me. ASU has been on strike for 6 months. They should first settle ASU to start with. All right. Caesar says, Almajiris believe in making children without having the capacity to feed or care for them. They are not educated. Now it hurts me because that's exactly how our fully educated legislatures think. You want to make more children even when you can't care for the few you have. It's pathetic. You want to create more universities so it can deteriorate like the old ones. All right, Caesar. So it's not only Almajiris that, have children without the capacity to feed them. That's a problem that is prevalent all across the country. It's happening here in Lagos. It's happening in my state, Enugu. It's happening in River State. It's happening all over the country. People are having children that they cannot take care of. It's a problem. It's why family planning is so big. People continue to preach about family planning, about having the children that you can take care of. So I have a problem with the example of Almajiri because this is a national problem, but the rest of your point stands. We've got Moses Kama from Ann City. Where's Ann City? Who says, if we believe that the country will bounce back from these economic problems and fund its institutions, let us build more universities to accommodate more students. Okay. Peter Yorinde says, Sandra, Nigeria... On land matters, I will tell you how mine was solved in my family. There was a lot of Dobale and Emma Binusa that went on. We then reconstituted family structure, of which the head of the family must be a middle-aged man, not the eldest. The eldest are used as the highest order of consultancy when the wahala goes beyond Oloribi. Okay. Thank you, Peter. We've got a message here. My issue, why do we set up committee for everything? All right. Someone's asking, grumble. Okay. AA from Badagry says, I greet you. In fact, I get angry here. Our complaint will take us anywhere. You can see that people who know nothing about security are now commenting what they don't know. Now, for also AAA from Ojo with that message. Timothy in Ikeja says, believe it or not, Sandra, before the committee comes out with their report, their tenure will be over, and then that's how you hear how many billions was used to set up the committee. Here's a message. The thugs are always afraid. That location part of Lagos. I remember one election, the people in that location decided to vote Jimmy. The thugs disrupted, shooting guns in order for elections to not happen there. Mr. C says, during the 2015 election in our polling unit, the then opposition party saw that they were losing the poll. They came to our center to destroy ballot. However, we overpowered them and they succeeded in snatching the camera that was used by one of us. When the police came, we identified them. They bribed the police to release them. The police later begged us to let the matter rest because the boys were backed by the national leader. This is the new method of rigging, but this time they will see fire for fire. We will vote and defend. Mr. C with that message there. I shall hope that vote and defend does not include violence, because violence is something I cannot condone, I cannot endorse, I cannot permit. So please find a way to do it without violence. Peter from Alaba says, please that they have to impeach the member of the government house in Abia State. Why will such a person still be in office, Peter? Your guess is as good as mine. Ben in Egbeda says, on the incident that took place in the church in Lagos, I don't envy the police spokesperson's job. I clearly sympathize with the young man for doing the dirty job of lying on issues that is glaring. All right, that's the time I have. I will bring you business news. When that is done, we'll bring you Madam Landlord. Lagos, don't go away.
It's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those. Those that need to be fired are fired. It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.